Alright, I am back. Thank you on behalf of those running the Twitch channel, Gion. Unsure how to enunciate your entire name. But yeah, drafting is in progress. We are on the final step of the ban phases. First pick, blue side, Femboy Jellyfish. Aurora, Wukong, Jinx, responded to by Ninja Turts, picking Morgana, Corki, and Nautilus. Turts deciding on Vi for the first pick on the final final pick wave. Set, what have you, blah, blah, blah. Leaving themselves with a top laner available, unpicked thus far. Femboy will be responding with an Alistar hover. Alistar into Nautilus. A really enjoyable support matchup to watch between those two because both of them have their own ways of dealing with the other. Although I think Alistar has a bit better ways, but, you know, he can't really stop his teammate getting depth charged on. Femboy hovering and locking Silas for their final pick. That should be a Silas top lane, unless it's Wukong top. Either one could flex. I'm not sure how Akali would fare into Wukong if it does end up being that for the top lane. But there is a Vi to accommodate, so... And deciding to opt to the Ornn. We'll see how that goes. The bonk is strong. As the teams will be going into the actual draft shortly. Just waiting for my chance to get into the spectator booth. There we go. Nope. Still no. Alright, finally. Alright, so team evaluations right now. So, Femboy's side, we have Flex top / jungle, which will be either Wukong or Silas. Mid lane Aurora, followed by bot Jinx Alistar. Jinx, exceptionally strong champion, especially after the buff she keeps getting. Silas, exceptionally strong. Aura is strong, but feasible ever since she had her changes to not have basically Jarvan ult anymore. And Wukong is also innately pretty darn powerful. You got plenty of beef, but... Or you do have some diving power. Hold on. Gotta dupe. You do have diving power with the Wukong and Silas together. Aurora is kind of the only source of control aside the Jinx, but you kind of don't want to use Jinx's control capabilities into a Vi and Nautilus, especially because Morgana's there. Morgana allowing Vi very easy access to the backline compounded with Ornn able to be pretty disruptive in that. However, you do have a lot of counter-engage power in the Wukong and Aurora, and Sylas ultimates available to him, being actually pretty solid. Could steal the Morgana ultimate to lock down if they're on the offensive, or an ultimate to be very destructive on an engage, which Vi wants to do. Not to mention, there are plenty of champions available to break whatever shield that Morgana might place on Vi. In the event that she does get a target locked on for her assault and whatever ultimate's called. I don't know these ability names except for the ones they've deleted, like Vanilla Swinken. And, you know, Magnet Storm. But yeah, Jellyfish does have very good disengage potential. Their engage potential requires a bit of setup. And their zone control isn't the greatest. But, you know, to a point, damage output is its own... damage threat is its own source of, whatchamacallit, area control. And, you know, Jinx and Aurora kind of have that covered fairly well. While Ninja Turts' side has a bit of pick power because of Nautilus, Vi, and Morgana. I feel like they would need to capitalize more using Morgana, more so than Vi, until situations are made to be bleak for Jellyfish. Vi's existence does give some ability to track down Aurora or Wukong whenever they're trying to escape with their invisibility. And I will shift the screen focus to the actual draft as it's going on so that we can see which picks will be going where, and it looks like it's Aurora top, actually, with Sylas mid. And unless these are still not the official picks. I don't know. Oh yeah, that is right. That would be a Morgana jungle with this setup. So yeah, other than the pick, I feel being more so focused around Morgana or Ornn, because like honestly, every single champion on Ninja Turts' side has pretty solid pick potential. It's just a matter of how much of it is going to be countered by Jellyfish in the late phase. In the early phases of the game, however, Wukong ganks are a bit, whatchamacallit, I don't want to say circumstantial, opportunistic. Wukong's ganks are a bit more, while Vi kind of sets her own up. She lands her Q, the target is basically dead. Then again, it is an Alistar down there, so plenty of disruption could be had, but, you know, I don't really trust on many champions surviving Vi and Corki, early game hopping onto them. Corki especially, because he's a very strong early game champion with his damage output. I do think he got some nerfs or something, but not too many, so we'll see how it goes. Alistar does at least provide his lane some sustain. And here comes the Spectator delay wait. 3 minutes for this wait. If CLT is available, not a bad time to force those ads once again, just to get them out of the way. And if someone could ping me about... I forget, I don't know what the wait time is between ads on the channel. But if that point comes near during the match if it does stretch that long, which it might, because, you know, it is a Jinx into a Corki, but Turts' team composition seems to be mixed between early and late game, although I say mixed, but Vi is like the only early game champion there. While Jellyfish's composition kind of handles its own pretty fine throughout the most of it. Like, they'll probably struggle a bit in the late, but Jinx is strong enough to counteract that skew throughout there. Oh yeah, actually, am I able to start polls? I don't think I can. I'd start a prediction poll right now, if I could. Unfortunate. Yeah. Match starting just under 2 minutes. I feel that in terms of composition, I personally think that Jellyfish has the stronger team. But, I don't think that, like, it's so heavily disjointed, the champ selection. Just because, you know, Corki does have pretty explosive power. Morgana, if she gets carried away, can do some pretty nasty stuff as well. She doesn't really care about the invisibility from Wukong or Aura, and they do have plenty of methods to get that lockdown if needed. So, you know, we'll see. Alright, just 30 seconds until this first match of week 5. Wait, is this the first week 5 match? I don't know. The first match between these two teams is beginning. Let's hope to see a good series. Ping's coming out. Looks like Turts is going to be going for a handshake down in the mid lane.
To Summoner's Rift. Sometimes I think this angry 30 seconds until minions spawn.
The flash of the century.
Minions have spawned.
Just keep in mind now, if Nautilus dies or fails to secure a kill throughout this lane phase before his flash comes back up, you gotta play the, I forget the song. The song. Ooh, nice catch from the Silas. Healthy trade from Morgana, but it won't matter too much once Silas has a level 2. Unfortunate by Morgana. Mr. Q on Silas and then stepped up a bit too far to get caught up in the abduct.
A summoner has disconnected.
Pause because of lag occurring. Pause to disconnect. It appears. Mid lag, not was lagging about 35 seconds as well. I believe it. Package doesn't exist anymore, Corky. Alright, game unpaused. Now here's your brief delay of frozen screen while it waits for the game to catch up the delay. Doo-doo-doo. Absconds the Morgana binding. Now watch this damage from Corky. Ooh! Jinx spotting the Wukong, dropping him to half health. But Corky's abilities are on cooldown. Out comes the Silas with the abduct attempt. Not successful, his own flash is down at this point, and Morgana is going to be taking that advantage to recall, might just walk back instead of teleport at this point. And it does look like it, but without a boots purchase. Ooh, Nautilus hook comes out, lands on the Alistar, already knocked below half health. Ignite burning away, but he should be able to heal that back. Kinda surprised Nautilus not sitting in the tri-bush to prevent Alistar from just walking back right there. Bone plating proc. Thing to keep in mind about bone plating is that it does not function against the attack that triggers it. And it only functions against the champion that triggered it. Ooh, insane damage from the binding and the pull from Morgana there. Ooh, out comes the Alistar setting up the gank for Wukong. Corky health dropping hard. Jinx getting excited. Will she land that second kill on the Nautilus? As he does get out safely. Gank attempt in the top lane gone awry. Aurora pretty comfy right now. Wish directed cam would sit on stuff properly. I should probably just control it myself in those situations, but then the kills happen across the net. Ooh, Alistar will get spotted out on the ward. Silas pulling the wave, that's gonna cost Morgana some minions if she does leave. Our mana pool's getting really low too. Not a good placement. Out comes Alistar, waiting out the Black Shield, takes a tower hit. W does get blocked by the Black Shield, did not wait just enough time to pulverize. Or well, the pulverize did land on her. Nautilus paying a visit. Ooh. Out comes the hook, lands it, but the tower will block the full motion, preventing the root. Alright, so Corki is alone in the bot side at the moment. Took a bit of hurt just from the Alistar. The zap did not land. Ooh, as Vi is rounding up the side. Sitting the tri-bush for recall. Did not seem to be spotted. Corki's trying to bait right now, and it looks like the bait will be successful. Alistar and Vi colliding with each other. Jinx just gonna walk right on past, leaving Alistar to be taken out, but will get caught by a hook, dropping below half health. As I will swing the camera over to mid to see what transpired. Alright. Nice abscond away from the shackle. As Morgana ults, both come out, and only one will last long enough to secure the kill. Well, both of them last long enough to trigger the extra damage, but Silas had a bit of help to deal the remainder. It was really close, actually. If Morgana's W was off cooldown, that could have been a kill opportunity. Very unfortunate. This directed cam not doing anything. Okay. Alright. As there are... Ooh, nice knock-up. And the bonk! Alright. Contest for the Void Grubs is going to be starting here. Wukong will spot out Nautilus and Morgana, priming up. Alistar comes in, going to try and help secure this Void Grub for his team, as Vi's coming around from top side. Ornn has his horn, as well as... Here it comes. Vi ultimate compounded, misses the recast, but he will be pulled in during the ultimate, so the knockup is basically on par with the CC duration. That should confirm Void Grubs for Turts. As Nautilus decides this is his time to angle towards the bot side. There's the Hex Flash channel. Two Void Grubs remaining. Gonna heading over there. Ooh, will get caught out by the Abduct in the bush. Followed with the Nautilus ultimate. Final Void Grub goes down. As this will be a 3-man fight down below. Corki flashes the Alistar W, gets out safely. Here might be the turn. Nautilus possibly looking for a hook angle. He already used it. I did not see when. But nice gank evade. That's the downside of Alistar. Use your W too late and it'll knock them away. And you use your W too soon and they'll flash away. Use it too late and it'll put them in a disadvantageous position. Like, at the very least, it did charge a flash, so Corki is less mobile at the moment, but he's still much more mobile than Jinx is. Morgana's still trying to duke it out with Silas here. Suffering. Ooh. Nice Q. But Silas does have Merc Treads at the moment, so Morgana's damage potential has been knocked down a peg. Ooh, fight going down in the bot lane. Looks like Alistar was probably caught out. Corki going on heavy. Jinx half health, but Wukong and Silas coming in from behind. Wukong ultimate will get the knock up. 2 for Jellyfish. Is Morgana gonna try and salvage a tad with a bit of plating for herself? Does manage to get it. Silas continuing to fight. He can take these trades since his heal will just go clean through Morgana's Black Shield. Right. As the first dragon fight will commence, Silas going on to Nautilus. Q coming out for Morgana, landing onto Wukong. Double knockup from Vi. Silas is down. Alistar follows. Ornn coming with his horn. Successfully lands the recast for the 3rd kill. Going to Nautilus, though. Unfortunate in that, but... Jinx a bit afraid to step up a bit further than that, since Nautilus is out of vision. So Ornn is returning topside. Nautilus will get spotted. Out comes his ultimate. Decides they don't want to go for the dive as Alistar has returned to lane. The tides of the match are shifting back and forth so far. Morgana missing another Q, but does get the wave with it, at the very least. Vi will be clearing the top side, possibly looking for an Aurora angle. Some more fighting on between the Silas and Morgana. Wait, when the heck does the second set of Void Grubs spawn? Or is it not like 2 sets of Void Grubs anymore or something? I don't understand. Like, they seem to have been killed at a decent point. Ooh, Jinx ultimate misses. Morgana's got plenty of mana at the moment to play with. Silas, however, stole Morgana ultimate, will be paddling towards bot side. Something expected to happen. Wukong going into the Nautilus for the knockup, but his hook will pull him out of the knockup somewhat as Alistar flashes in for the Corki, whose flash is not off cooldown yet. Turning to take out Wukong. Nautilus still low, but Jinx does not have Super Mega Death Rocket available to her. Avoids the zap. Morgana Black Shield on board. Fortunately, the Q goes wide. Does still manage to land the final blow, however. As it looks like Vi is going into Wukong's jungle at this point. Probably not for a dive attempt, as there will be a brief meeting here. Ooh, 2 levels on Wukong. Both have Trinity Force. And Wukong is seemingly wanting to push her. Now, will prevent their being control ward at that point. Nautilus will be holding a bit of a wave here for the Morgana, just a bit. Out comes the root. Vi charging up her Q, decides not to go for it, but Nautilus does land, no follow. Of course it wouldn't. Alistar was right there. As Vi still being antagonized by the opponents. Top lane has been a pretty comfortable island so far. CS nearly 1-to-1 But Ornn with a gold lead due to his map presence. And plates. Yeah. Entire tower gone. And that will be the final feat for Turts. Alistar knocking up Corki. Jinx coming behind. Flashes over the wall to get away. Mega Death Racket blocked by the barrier. As Jellyfish opting to fight. Wukong ultimate is on cooldown, however. Morgana comes into the fray. No one else locked down. Aurora ultimate goes down. 2 dead on Turts thus far. Who else will fall? It looks like Aurora's seeking blood. Tries to finish off Ornn, but he's got far too much magic resist to die to that. Solid trades. Looks like Sylas got some gold from those 2 kills. And Alistar being the only death on Jellyfish is pretty good for them. Meanwhile, you see some bounties starting to uptick on Turts' end. Just taking a look at the gold chart to see these values comparing. You know, Ornn with 150 gold bounty on him, 300 gold lead over his lane opponent. 200 gold bounty on Vi with 1,000 gold lead over opponent, and 100 gold lead on Corki for a 500 roughly gold lead over his opponent. Oh, I am sorry what happened here. Alright, Morgana Black Shield used. Missed Q. Alistar coming in from behind. Gets the knockup set up. Walk right into the traps. And that is a dead org. Alright. Yeah, it's really weird how this bounty system's working out. Because, like, with the bounty being placed on Ornn, you kind of expect there should probably be one on Nautilus as well, but there's not. And you'd probably expect the bounty on Vi to be bigger. Maybe even a bounty on Sylas. Alright, lots of fighting going on. Nautilus will be taken out. Jinx excited. Horn coming out. Gets the knock up onto Sylas, but they have to retreat at this point. Tons of damage thrown at them from Aura, slapping down, and Jinx following up. Corki trying to get some inner tower gold to salvage. Moving towards bot side to maybe even get more. Will push the lane at least on his way out. Let's take a look at his cooldowns. Okay. Corki doesn't seem to be falling. That is a lot of flowers. Someone call the gardener. Zoro will take the first tower for Jellyfish. All in all, current state, Jellyfish is doing pretty darn well at this point, despite having a tower deficit. Gold is basically even. They don't have the Mountain Drake, which is unfortunate, but Hextech is still pretty solid. As Sylas has gone aggressive on, drops well below half health. Unfortunate for Ninja Turts that the Nautilus hook did not land. Morgana will continue her farm. Ornn and Aurora still just being relatively even up there. Alright, Jinx flash pings, noting that they are ready to fight sometime soon. Atacon is up, so we could possibly see posturing for that. Ornn is level 13, so his first upgrade came out. Mr. Buffa. Alright. So far, no movements towards Atacon yet. We got 4 minutes till Baron is up, a minute and a half for Dragon, so there's a lot that will be... No one saw that. Ooh, here comes the Atacon play. Wukong was sighted on the control ward, so this is a very hard rush attempt. Out comes the teleport from Aurora. This could spell nasty for Ninja Turts if they decide to stick around, but Atacon has been effectively leashed at this point. Jellyfish will not stick it, however. Will continue pressuring off Ninja Turts. As one player seeks to recall. Will be Silas. His teleport is not presently available, as Ninja Turts is sitting there silently waiting at the banana. Nautilus aiming for hook, will land. Out comes the Ornn Horn on both sides. Nautilus getting caught out by the Silas. Wukong putting some distance between the teams. No recast of ult was done. Wukong getting low. Alistar dead. Corki and Wukong down as well. Jinx immediately after. Fight is still relatively even at this point. Actually, more so in favor of Ninja Turts, with Ornn being a menace of damage. Burns ticking. Aurora barely living 17 health, as Silas is still looking to deter something. Sitting at below half health. Thinks he can take on the Ornn. Does avoid much of the knockups, getting plenty of healing off of him. Wants to take this, but there are 2 allies of Ornn's coming down. Make sure he will not fall. As Ninja Turts aiming for Dragon, possibly, as Nautilus shield and support item charge will be taken. Alright, here comes the Dragon Leash. Not pulling it out fully. Will give Wukong avenue for a steal attempt. Morgana a bit out of position. As the Windrake will be secured for Ninja Turts. Jellyfish deciding that they will take a tower for that trade, but they're funneling in nicely for the Ornn Horn to land. A lot of AoE ultimates going off at this point. Jellyfish health bars dropping fast. Nautilus so far the only death from Ninja Turt's side, as Aurora will get out safely. Rest of her team dead, however. We'll probably confirm Atacon for Ninja Turts. These team fights are getting pretty close. Could have possibly turned around there with the only target of the Ornn Horn being Jinx that it landed upon. Fortunately, she did not have flash available for that fight, and it was her demise as a result. As Turts will take yet another tower alongside Atacon. Those flowers giving them plenty of buffer for their scaling. And Corki is starting to become quite a menace. Vi going for a bruiser build. Nautilus chunky as heck. 203 armor and magic resist to both at this point. Has Hollow Radiance and Bramble. So Jinx is having a hard time cutting into him, especially since Wukong does not have Black Cleaver available. Just finished his Sundered Spear instead first. He does have Armor Shred in his kit innately due to his Q, but I guess the main goal at this point would kind of be to melt into the divers before Ornn can move the line up. Silas trying to be all sneaky peeky. By taking a vibe check on Jinx to see if she'd move up. Baron's been up for a little bit. Got 2 more minutes until Dragon, however. See how the tempo shifts for that. As the outer tower for Ninja Turts is still up. Out comes Aura trying to get a pick as Corki will run away. Flash comes out. Nautilus hook onto Alistar. Lots of knockups coming in. Wukong opting to go in for the Corgi, but no one else is there to follow up on the knockups just yet. However, Aura comes in finally. Lots of damage onto the Nautilus. As Silas is trying to disrupt the back end of Ninja Turts at this point. Corki health dropping very low. Jinx trying to get some lifesteal, but will get caught up in the knockup from Ornn and killed pretty shortly afterwards. Once again, Aurora being the sole survivor. Should be able to take the tower here. Morgana actually opting to move towards the mid lane at this point since her damage onto Dragon ain't that great. Trying to preserve the tower as long as they can. There won't be a Jinx ultimate for a steal attempt, as Ninja Turts will secure the first Baron of the match. Next objective on the map is the second Windrake. Will secure Dragon Point if Ninja Turts gets it, but they do have Baron buff active at the moment, and you would probably rather push with that than fight in the river. However, any time that they do stick in the river does give Jellyfish some breathing room to recoup from this Baron buff. Ooh, as Alistar will take a Morgana Q, will be forced to use his ultimate to get out safely. Nautilus fishing for another hook, will hit the tower instead. Out comes a stolen Ornn Horn, gets the knockup onto Corki, tries to escape. Morgana ultimate comes out, has 2 targets locked, but will die before it finishes. Knows, oh, did not use her Seeker's Arm Guard. Lots of knockups and damage elsewhere coming out. Jellyfish dropping as they are. Jinx landing a kill, but dying shortly afterwards. Ruka, here's your moment. Alright, got the abduct on Nautilus, but the shield comes up before they can get the final kill. And the Ornn and Vi damage just too much for him. Teamfight win after win for Ninja Turts, paving this way for them into the base of Jellyfish after all that early game tempo they'd established by wanting to make use of this last bout of time of Baron before backing off to get considerable more gold into her allies' pockets. 10-1, absolute monster. 700 gold bounty, well deserved. No bounty on Corki though. His gold is relatively even with Jinx. At the very least, the bounties make sense now. Although there still should be a bounty placed on Nautilus. He's got almost 2k lead on Alistar, which is about the same as Ornn, who has a 500 gold bounty. As here comes a pick attempt onto Wukong, but it's only the clone. But he has no clone to lean back on at this point as he tries to make his escape. Will get caught by the Dark Binding to his death. As Silas is around the other side of the map, will be seeing a one-on-one between him and Vi, however. Nice dodge of the Q. Out comes the Vi ultimate as the top lane. Inner turret goes down. Doesn't seem like he'll be able to fight this one, but will try and escape or keep her away from his team as long as he can. Oh no, it comes out, but he is not hurting her very much. She doesn't even really have all that much magic resist, actually. It's pretty surprising. As he finally goes down as we swap back to this Jellyfish base going down. Wukong almost back up, 2 inhibitors down, 1 wave of super minions incoming. Baron buff is not a thing at this point. Out comes Alistar with a knock-up attempt. Corki getting out, Aurora ult slammed down. Will do a bit, but here comes the counter Ornn ult. Alistar not yet out of this, but Ornn is falling low. Jinx trying to get what she can, not excited yet as she is forced to back off as Vi comes over. Ultimate primed and ready, as is Morgana's for any moment they choose to do anything. Still applying pressure, 3 inhibitors down at this point. One of them is nearly to the point of not spawning any more super minions, however. But that will be no problem if they get the successful recall. Baron and Dragon will be up shortly. Honestly, either one should be able to help them secure a victory. But honestly, it's kind of a free Baron for them at this point. You just keep applying pressure to it, force it. If they try and contest, you just take the base. But in the meantime, these super minions do give a bit of extra gold to Jellyfish. If Jinx... Actually, Jinx has 4 items at this point. Wukong needs his Black Cleaver at this point, actually, I believe. Otherwise, there's just going to be no touching any of this. And Silas needs a Void Staff. Because he wasn't doing... Actually, you might need more than a Void Staff. Actually, here comes a pick attempt on Taririka. Ornn will get the knock-up, followed by a bonk. Nautilus ultimate stolen. There comes the Nautilus follow-up. Will not see a hook just yet. Missed onto the Alistar. As Morgana will lock down the Alistar. This is a 3-man defense into 5. Middle inhibitor back up shortly, but 2 are still down alongside these super minion waves closing in. Or ultimate trying to do something beautiful. Nautilus hook onto that teleport. As Corki is dropping dangerously low. We'll back off. Jinx getting hit by the knockup from the Ornn Horn, but that is about it. Does have Guardian Angel available, aiming for the squishy targets, but that last Nexus turret is dead. Base slowly being whittled away. Wukong down, Jinx GA popped. There comes the ping to land the kill. As game 1 goes to Ninja Turts. Yeah. Level 18 Ornn is basically 50 or 5,000 free gold for your team. It's wild. Honestly, it was really surprising me how little damage that Silas was able to deal to Vi. It was probably because of Merc Treads instead of Sorcerer Shoes, however. Uh, because Vi only had 70 magic resistance. I'm assuming since he didn't have Proto Belt, that was even more magic pen that was missing. Not sure Proto Belt would even be the right call in that match, though. Vi was just ridiculously strong there. Nice job getting that victory. And it looks like they are swapping sides for game 2, perhaps? Just gonna get this stuff fixed up. Okay, the picks actually started. Good, good, good. I think. Honestly, hard to say what an issue in game 1 could have been. It seemed like as the game wore on, the damage was just lacking from Aurora and Wukong. I feel that if Wukong probably went for Cleaver first, and Aurora probably went something for MR Shred, like Malignance, maybe, that they would have been able to shred through enemy resistances a bit more. Especially when you're going into a team with, like, Ornn and Nautilus, it's going to be a lot of innate tankiness just on their part. And then, you know, Vi got ahead. And if you don't kind of melt her pretty quickly, you're just going to kind of have a bad time. And, there were many, like, fights throughout that, where when Aura slapped down her ultimate, she knocked off, like, you know, about an eighth of the health bars of the enemies, but after that, there unfortunately wasn't much. Wukong, honestly, I don't even think it was necessarily a cleaver issue at that point. There were just some engagements that I think were a bit staggered. I think I want to say, I could be misremembering, but, because of them being staggered, it gave the enemy a bit room to breathe on the follow-ups to not take so much grouped up damage. Because like there were plenty of like aura alts on basically a full team, Wukong alts on like 3 members of the team. Uh, but like yeah, it's it just wasn't enough, unfortunately. And then Ninja Turts is doing a great job getting some picks as the game wore on. So all right. Ban phase is coming out. Sivir and Pantheon banned thus far for Ninja Turts. Femboy opting for Jarvan and Xin Zhao. Final bans for phase 1, opting to Aphelios and Braum. Kind of unfortunate to see an Aphelios ban. He's a fun one. And I wonder what the Braum ban would be. Are they opting for like a Misfortune angle or something? Or Xayah maybe? Kaisa and Fiddlesticks. I feel the Fiddlesticks pick may be a bit early. I feel that as teams get better, you want to pick him for like a counter engage setup. Otherwise, outright engaging with him gets a bit difficult, especially since they have Jhin. Like, if Jhin gets ahead, he'll kind of two-shot Fiddlesticks, and that is no bueno, I feel. Alright, Lee Sin, second pick for Ninja Turts. Hovering Rel for the last. And the lock. Jellyfish opting for Thresh. Hover thus far, and the lock. Strong, strong. As the last set of bans come out. Although, Thresh with Fiddlesticks doesn't work quite as well as with other junglers because Fiddlesticks needs to be out of vision for the fear of his ultimate to, or well, the fear of his abilities to trigger. So he can't kind of be led into hard play. A no ban? I wonder if that was a issue. I'll probably get a message if that is. Chat is broken in the client, so. Oh, Gnar. The ban is a Gnar. If it is a Fiddlestick support pick, then Rel pick is good into it, but it's definitely jungle at this point since there is a Thresh. Alright, Jellyfish locking... Oh wait, the final bans, yeah. Kiana and Camille for Ninja Turt's final bans. Gnar and Renekton for Femboy Jellyfish's final bans. Jellyfish locks in Mbessa for their first pick of the second set, and Ninja Turt's opting for Gragas and Ahri. Oh, no, 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 no. Maybe Oriana. Sticking it with the Ahri. Good call. Uh, because I think I've said this many times before, but Rel is not good primary engage, while Ahri, Gragas, and the rest of them do generally handle that better, and you slap Rel as a follow-up in those situations, and you'll have better results. And there's the Yone pick into the Ahri, so due to the changes of Yone's W, I think that Ahri is a bit better off now than it used to be, as the actual picks should be starting up soon. Alright, so we've got Jin, Lee, Rel, Gragas, and Ahri into Kaisa, Fiddlesticks, Thresh, Mbessa, and Yone. Uh, Alright, with this setup, so Jellyfish has a lot of diving power with the Mbessa, Yone, Kaisa. They have pig power with Thresh and Mbessa. Well, Thresh, Mbessa, and Yone. They have counter engage, which would work because those more Qs on moving targets had a bit of trouble landing. Now, hopefully, it's a bit of a different situation with Ahri, because you know how some people are better or worse at aiming skill shots with certain champs. Like I'm pretty solid at landing Brand Q, but Ezreal Q and W not all that great with. Pretty solid at Rel Q, you know, so long as it doesn't extend into old Rel Q range. But the directional and hitting them with the borders of it, solid enough. But you know, it's weird. Something about all the different cast times and animations and all that can make stuff feel a bit better or worse. Or, you know, just your setup options are different. Might make it better. In terms of which team I think has the upper hand, Last game I said Jellyfish's composition looked a bit better, I think. I don't remember. I said that their team was more all around, but Ninja Turts' early game was a bit weaker. I don't remember. With Vi being the only strength in the early, but it did round off pretty well, and Vi and everyone else is able to hold their own. This match, it kind of depends, I feel, on how proactive Fiddlesticks is able to be. How many opportunities he has available to them. If no solid ganks come out, he may struggle pretty hard. Lee Sin's existence may make it a bit difficult for him to pull some good ultimates off unless he can be the target. Using Fiddlesticks in a way that you would use Janna when roaming could block out Lee Sin pretty darn well. His abilities to take stuff like grubs should help him out. Oh yeah, I think a top and mid lane contribution towards grubs would be pretty solid to look at. Gragas, lots of pressure. Ahri, kind of iffy, but not bad at all. But it's Ahri into Yone, and Yone has no resources, and Yone is pretty darn strong on his own. And Fiddlesticks doesn't really have that much to offer in a fight that isn't taking opponents by surprise. Haha. Not quite a pun, not intended. But the Thresh Roam could help out with that some, because any sort of peel for Fiddlesticks in the early game while he's draining and doing all of his other stuff can absolutely turn some fights. Like, just a single Flay should be able to lock in any opponents into the drain long enough for Fiddlesticks to get that second tick and massive burst of sustain and damage output. So, I think that the support game is going to heavily define how this match is going to be going on. So definitely keep an eye on those. Both AD carries should have plenty of avenue to scale pretty heavily. Jhin should feel pretty safe if he gets ahead, since he's kind of a tough target to deal with when he's moving pretty fast. Kai'Sa has a lot of burst power and maneuverability, which should let her stay alive towards many of the threats on Ninja Turt's side as well. Honestly, I want to say that it's kind of even. But again, prove me wrong. Rel crowd control just feels too short, you know? Too short and unreliable. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. It's all gonna be the pilot. And match is starting up. For anyone tuning in, this is game 2, with the first victory being for Ninja Turts. Pause! Sup DC, fix it so he doesn't miss his flash hook on us mid. DDoS attack strikes back. Wait, who leaked? Sorry, I'm in your VC right now. Ghosted. What the hecky? Unpause so Nexus can hit the DC. Any Blue Protocol MMORPG players Thursday. Ugh. I don't think the blue protocol is gonna last long. Like, it's an anime MMO, but the designs, the characters, and the classes seem very... also note, my opinions do not reflect that of the LOLMidwest on various games, champions, and other things. Disclaimer. Ooh, here comes the Threshy! Landed hook on one, but got knocked out for follow-up. Body blocked by his own teammate. Forcing himself to flash. Oh, wait. I forgot to turn the music on. Almost tipped my glass. Rel sitting dismounted without a shield seems a bit iffy. Probably would have wanted to get it back, because the move speed boost that she gets isn't really meaningful as it used to be. Rel nostalgia comments are also my opinion only. But the mount up is very weak. They got the jab. Not sure how I feel about running Demolisher on Rel either, though. That's definitely a plan to, like, win lane approach there. Although Tango Fish is doing a... Ooh, Thresh Hook came out. Tons of damage output. Kill goes to Thresh. Yeah, that's generally how it goes if you get hooked by Thresh as well. If you're dismounted, you kind of don't have an out. Unless you have minions to play with, you kind of want to stay mounted up into him when you're Rel, I feel. Otherwise, you're just a free kill, as was displayed. Mbessa doing what they can, trading just outside of tower range. Directed Cam not knowing who to focus on, but we see nice flash with the knock-up. Ooh, very beautiful hook. As Ari will go down. Second kill for Jellyfish. Second kill of the game for Yone. Ooh, lots of pings coming out. Rel coming behind Kaisa will be avoided. Stun into root coming out. No tower shot landing onto Jin. As that will be Kaisa's last potion, but she does have a Cole available. I think that was her return to lane, as she does have dagger. Oh. Alright, Yone going for his recall. 1100 gold. Is he gonna go for like Zerkreeves or something? Yes, he is. As Fiddlesticks is looking around the bot side. Oh no, that's his board. Mbessa not taking solid trades right now. Yone is gonna have a lot of lane presence with Zerkreeves available to him. Mbessa's really low, trying to heal up what she can with Doran's. Nice flash body slam from Gragas to secure the kill. Fortunate the gold went to Lee Sin. good for the early. And they did do a really good job on Jinx. I'm only saying unfortunate because there's more longevity in the gold value for Gragas. And Gragas with a lead is absolutely nasty, especially since he's going for AP Gragas build, it seems. Ooh, Yone going for a tower dive. Drops Ahri down to half health. She doesn't have teleport available. As Fiddlesticks has taken the jungle camps away from Lee Sin. Still has Krugs available, but going from behind. Not spotted yet. We'll see how fast it takes for Lee Sin to respond, as Jin will get the kill onto Thresh. That is the first feat claimed by Jellyfish. Ooh, Lee Sin Q lands onto Fiddlesticks, but Yone coming in. Alright, 4-shot charged up by Jin. Does not manage to land the root. Alright, Yone following. But Lee Sin looks like he will be getting out. Unfortunately, it seems to be a support Kai'Sa this game. 0 and 3. Yone coming up behind Ahri. Doesn't have his ultimate ready just yet. Here comes Thresh, level 4. Rel missing her Q. Jin level 6 has a lot of pressure onto Kai'Sa. It's so hard to figure who to pay attention to right now. Because it seems that Mbessa is nearing kill threat range. Lee Sin trying to go for a gank top. Rel going mid. Here's the rotate. Looks like Jellyfish will not be rotating for the Void Grubs. Fiddlesticks has ult available. There's only one Void Grub left, however. As Lee will secure the final grub. Yeah, did they remove the second Void Grub spawn? Because, like, the next spawn is just Rift Herald. Clever footwork by Mbessa. But her health still is low. Teleport almost back up, though. Yone ult comes out. Will land on Ahri, but the charm comes out immediately. Won't prevent any follow-up damage. Very nice play. No hook yet, though. Lee Sin will be going for this Mountain Drake. Will not be detected, as Scuttle does not view into the pit. Unfortunately, not enough plays from Fiddlesticks so far, letting Sin take away many victories. And Bessa falling pretty low. She's definitely in kill threat range. If she uses her W, I feel like Gragas might use that attempt. Go for lethal. Lee Sin going for camps, no dive. There is a ward to watch for Mbessa though. Ooh, she took the hit. That is definitely kill threat range. No, they'll just let her go. Teleport's ready anyways. Fiddlesticks will be found out. Lee Sin and Mbessa handshaking. Ooh, Thresh running forward. Will be spotted. Teleport coming bot by Yone. We'll miss the Q3. Fight coming in, and Mbessa getting dangerously low. I assume got hit by a charm and then this combo. Nice hook and play set up by the Thresh to confirm kill for Yone onto the Lee Sin. As Fiddlesticks flashes out of the rel, crash down. Second kill picked up for Yone here. Right, Jellyfish getting some good wins. Ooh, unfortunate miscue. Nice. Yone doing Yone things. Not a single tower hit. Some help me pings from Kaisa. I think she can win this though. Sure, Jhin has Collector, but Rel only has Cloth Armor, she can't take too many hits. About 4, she would die. So long as she doesn't hit you with Q. Ooh, Lee Sin and Fiddlesticks fighting in the jungle. Mbessa taking a lot of hurt before the shield comes up. Blocking no damage. Rift Herald coming up in less than a minute. Same with the next dragon. Jhin poking a bit. No, 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 Thresh! Someone paused, not sure who. Ah, it was Ari. Mid laner disconnected. Rel landed Q, but it won't really be eventful from it. Thresh was too low to be going on Jhin like that with Collector, and not nearly enough armor to block much of his damage. He is basically at the point where he's going to be able to start snowballing here soon. Kaisa can't take 4 shots from him. Okay, Fiddlesticks is hovering though to prevent a tower dive attempt. We'll see how that goes. If they step up, if you precast ultimate, they should be solid. There it is. Will land the fear onto Rel. Looks like Jhin cleansed and started running. It's on the freeze up thing. If it skips this engagement, I will back it up. Okay, good. Out comes the Kaisa ultimate to try and secure onto Jhin. And she landed the vision for him for that second kill. Beautiful stuff. Double kill to Kaisa. Nice dodges from Gragas. There's the chain. One more hit. Waiting for his last barrel and not up soon enough. Jellyfish getting themselves a comfortable spot here. Jhin, so far your only credible threat, but Gragas is going to be a monster too. So long as that isn't forgotten, they will be fine. Got a Yone and Fiddlesticks after all. Nice block of the Q, Yone. Engagement. Right. Rift Herald attempt here by Lee Sin. Should he get this Rift Herald, that will be the final feat. Or wait, actually no. This would be the first feat for Ninja Turts. Then all that's left would be... Or wait, never mind. It's a... Yeah, that... Yeah, first tower is the last one. Hold up. I'm sorry, I moved away. Alright, so Thresh rolling in with Kaisa. Kaisa lands W, Flash from Thresh for the play. Takes a couple tower shots, but gets out handily. As Imbesta is starting to go aggro onto Gragas. 2 Negatron cloaks, or null magic mantles on her at this point. Is taking some hurt from Gragas. Nice zoning. Rel tower dive. We'll back up to see that. She went for a poke. Hook missed, but walking up too much. Has 4 stacks of plasma on her. Took a full burst of evolved Q. Missed her own stun as Kaisa ults to get rid of the tower aggro instantly. That will be the final feat of the game. Giving the upgraded boots to Jellyfish. Nice ultimate from Fiddlesticks. There was a beautifully placed fear. And great follow-up. Alright, the coordination this match for Jellyfish has been impeccable thus far. Alright, Zari has Malignance available now. Gragas has Proto Belt finished, working towards his next item. Hook from Thresh lands onto Rel. She will go under the tower briefly. Ult comes out. Kaisa caught up in it. Plasma spread to everyone, but no one has had it finished yet. Alright, Yone coming from behind. from their end as backup will secure the kill onto Jin. Rel crash down. Lee Sin successfully killing Kaisa, getting some gold back for his team. Yone snapback, getting the knock up on Lee Sin, trying to get away. Beautiful Fiddlesticks ult coming in, will secure Lee Sin and possibly zone off Gragas. Ahri ulting forward, misses the charm. Do keep in mind that none of Fiddlesticks' abilities will interrupt Rel's crash down. Nice fear from Fiddlesticks, follow up with the play from Thresh, hook comes out, narrowly avoided. And Bessa decides not to try and tower dive the Gragas. Hook narrowly misses. Honestly surprised that didn't catch. Pinging the wards. Yone coming to garden. That's a lot of Fiddlesticks on the map. 6 of them. They don't have timers. Funny stuff. Alright, actually, this looks like it might be a free Atacon. Will be spotted by Ahri. Ooh, narrowly, blindly avoided the Yone ult. As Atacon will go down for Jellyfish. And Bessa with Hex Drinker and Merc Treads available, so she should be taking a lot less damage from Gragas at this point. Probably going to be sticking to the side game throughout most of the match, I assume. As it's just Gragas and Ahri for her to worry about generally. Ooh, that damage output is beautiful. Gragas trying to run away. While there's a team fight going on here, very beautiful Fiddlesticks on everybody. Jin getting a kill onto Yone, however. Lee Sin getting out just alive. Kaisa down as well. Thresh also taken out. However, Mbessa's teleporting over will not be interrupted. Will get hit by Jin ult, maybe? Nope. Lee Sin is low, but will heal up a bit off of the dragon. Rift Herald being sent out to take out that outer tower. Skraw's pushing out the top. Very unfortunate fight for Jellyfish. Fiddlesticks ultimate was on a lot, but it wasn't enough to take anyone out. Alright, and Bessa taking out the Rift Herald. It looks like she just might take out the Fox as well. Ultimate comes out. Flash from Ahri, and Bessa catches Lee Sin instead. Going to try and escape at this point. You do not want to get close to that Jin, but you do have Rel on your back. Targeting the gold isn't a big issue. But, well, if she does. Jin will land the kill onto Fiddlesticks. Should be a dragon for them, but it is being contested by Kaisa and Thresh at this point. Alright, Jin down, Lee Sin probably immediately afterwards. Yup. Yone ult coming out to lock up Rel as Gragas runs away. There is no jungler to secure the objective at this point, so they are backing off and opting to take out these towers instead. Baron up in 2 minutes, Fiddlesticks up in 2 seconds. Alright, teleport coming out from Ahri. Charm missed, but Gragas with the flash for the save. Beautiful Thresh Hug saving Kaisa, pulling her out of lethal. Alright, as mid lane outer turret will go down for Ninja Turts. That is currently a single tower lead in Ninja Turts' favor, but with another tower near half health. Baron coming up in 1 minute, Dragon coming up in 5. One away from Soul Point for Jellyfish. Thresh Hook comes out, breaks Rel's support item. Another hook lands. Will they go for a kill at this point? As the crashdown comes out, Rel's health knocked to half as Mbessa and Gragas are sticking out top. Fiddlestick's hovering. Good, it's good. As Yone is pressuring the bot side. Gragas caught out. Will escape. Yone going for somewhat of a rotate. Will possibly meet Lee Sin. Just hiding the scoreboard briefly so we can see some more. Alright, Yone going full on aggressive onto Lee Sin. Will get ulted after using his own ult. So that is an ult gone on either side at this point. We'll continue pushing bot. Ahri deciding to keep it in check instead of rotate. Alright, Baron attempt has been paused. Pressure was what they needed. Pressure was what they got. Big plays going on here. As Gragas instantly goes down, out comes Mbessa ultimate. Kaisa incredibly low, trying to keep her distance. Misses W, Rel tries to escape, but I believe it will be for naught. Indeed, as that should open up Baron for Jellyfish. Yone will probably be going for a reset here. Horizon focus on Ahri, I see. Alright, bounties galore on Jellyfish side. 550 gold bounty onto Fiddlesticks despite a 350 gold lead over his role opponent. 200 gold bounty on Yone with his 2,000 lead over his opponent. Kaisa, 250 gold bounty with a 1,000 gold lead over her opponent. And top lane with 100 gold bounty, 100 gold lead. No bounty on support. Click on Terrell, broke her item yet again. See, there's a reason that I go the Sheen item as Rel support, because it's gonna get popped often. If you go that one. Also, the viable options, if I recall, Celestial Opposition is the weakest overall. Lots of pings going on to pressure mid. It's 2 top at the moment. Ultimate from Yone missed. But mid lane, a lot is going on. Fiddlestick's ultimate was able to confirm the death of Ahri. Back to top side. Gragas is down. Lee Sin going after. I will back it up so we can see the entirety of everything that just transpired, because that was too much happening at the same time. Alright, so Kaisa was almost caught out by Ahri. pulled out by the Thresh, wonderfully done. Fiddlesticks getting plenty of damage onto Rel, knocking her to death as this tower went down not long after. Alright, and see the remainder of this fight here between Yone, Lee, and Gragas will get hit by the Gragas ultimate. Shield up, blocks plenty of Lee Sin's Q recast damage, and there's the W for the kill on the Gragas as he continues his push afterwards. Allies push the base. Wonderfully done. Wait. Did Lee Sin die to minions? He died to minions! Baron Cannon! How did I not notice that? Truly a team game. Oh no. Did the stream die or was it just my end? Okay, it was just on my end. I'm glad. Alright. As Jellyfish looks to have taken game 2. Absolutely incredible team play. No notes. Except, you know, maybe Ward Dragon, even if you have Scuttle taken. That could be a note. As we move on to game 3. Heck of a match set. Oops. Also note, I've only been playing these songs. Wow. I applaud you for your very unbiased opinion there, Get Wrecked, brah. That seems to be a succinct analysis. I don't know how you come to that decision after, about the person's general personality. But I guess you're just really good at reading people. From, how they play in a match. I'm unsure if Gragas got caught by Mbessa ult from the flash. But that's what clips are for. Draft had begun. Alright, first wave of bans. Once again, Braum, Jarvan, and Poppy. Oh, actually, I gotta fix the sides. Oh. Alright, so for anyone joining, this is game 3. 1-1 thus far. Match 2 being an incredibly well-maintained victory. And those Thresh Lanterns were beautiful. Alright, and Ninja Turts bands were Sivir, Caitlyn, Pantheon. Femboy, Jellyfish's first pick, went to Xin Zhao. Ninja Turts replied with Ezreal and Viego. As B2 opting for Xayah. And Rakan Hover. I find it funny how both of the champs are visible in each of their pictures. Whereas if I recall, in game, you don't see the other one. I think I don't remember. Or well, never mind. The icons are too small to see Rakan, but I'm not sure if you can see Rakan, and are too small to see Xayah and Rakan's. But I'm not sure if you'd be able to see Rakan's portion in Xayah's portrait. And Rakan was locked in Ninja Turts hovering Karma. And there is that lock. I'm kind of surprised at a Karma pick because she wants to be a lane bully, but Ezreal's pretty darn safe laning on his own. I would have probably expected Janna more for roaming, perhaps. Alright, as bans come out, there is Vladimir for Ninja Turt's first ban. Malphite is Femboy Jellyfish's first ban for round 2. And Camille for Ninja Turt's final ban. Jellyfish hovering Syndra. And the lock. Lock. Renekton lock in for Ninja Turts. All that's left is the mid lane pick. Unless Karma is the mid lane pick. Unless Renekton is the mid lane pick and Karma is the top lane pick. Dun dun. Mundo Hover. The terror of the top lane. And final blue side lock of the series. LeBlanc And the response? Who shall we see? A lot of clicking. Hovering rise. Alright. Give it up for the start of this here Game 3. As a reminder, current score is 1-1, as Ruka stated in chat. The actual draft has not yet begun. Still organizing the team orders. Oh crap. It moved me into a team. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright. And back. And gonna go into... Wait. You know, I completely forgot that Xin Zhao was picked for Jellyfish. In terms of teams, I still feel like Xin Zhao is kind of a weak jungler. Like, he does stuff that's really good, but oftentimes it just kind of falls short of being effective. But I also feel like Karma is kind of in the same boat. Otherwise, Mundo's a taking time bomb. LeBlanc can be a major threat, especially considering how kind of squish the opponents are. As well as just how well Rurika has been performing today. Zai and Ezreal both good marksmen. But I don't think that there is enough lockdown power against Zaya in Turt's composition at the moment. And also, like, so long as Zaya doesn't preemptively use her ultimate, like, offensively or anything, I feel like she should be fine for the most part. There are a lot of dangerous options for Viego to use to steamroll, however, on the takedowns and resets. Like, you know, he grabs LeBlanc and you're basically dead at that point. He steals Mundo and his health is basically back to full. Steals Xin Zhao and once again, you can't really get away, so... And frankly, after that Game 2 performance, I'm not gonna say anything. If I say something, it's gonna curse it. I've said enough neutrality at this point, where it is anyone's game. Although saying what I did might still put the curse on one way. Apologies if it does. But best of luck to both teams as we go in this final match of the series. And Game 2 was insane. Game 1 was really, like a pretty strong showing for Turts.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Game 2, they started off strong. But, Jellyfish rallied really hard.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yourself.
Jellyfish didn't necessarily do poorly in Game 1. It's just, they weren't able to keep up with the damage they needed to do. Ooh, nice dodge of the Q from Bufa.
Minions have spawned.
Ooh, Rise falling very low. Going to be very dangerous for him to stay in lane. Oh ho ho! Oh, that is like horrible for him right now. Still can't recall. Dangerous to go for the knockup right there. You have no out yet, Rakan. It's always weird when Guardian doesn't proc when it feels like it should. Because it definitely should have procced on him after he did the knock-up on those two, yeah? He was definitely close enough to Xayah. Alright, so... Ah, that's right. I have to fix the... There we go. That was a beautiful hook. Or chain, what have you. Rise dangerously low. But he can't really reset at this point. Alright. Rise sitting around 200 health. Teleport down. Flash is up. Not anymore. But Viego coming from behind tries to flash stun onto LeBlanc, but very beautiful footwork from Rika avoiding it. And Xin Zhao coming from Raptor Camp to turn it, but unfortunate aim. Beautiful dodge, Rika. Alright, Xin Zhao came in from behind. And I want to say an unexpected way, but they kind of knew that he was up there because of the ward, but it still worked out. But then really good dodges all around kind of made the death count higher than it would have been. Marika playing around in such tight spaces is really funny to see. They are feeling exceptionally confident this game, especially after last match. Ooh, that is a beautiful route from Xayah. Karma got into kind of a dangerous spot. Nearly took a tower shot. And Rakan taking quite a bit of hurt from her in exchange. Will he join in the oh. Guess not. Looks like the ward on Raptors has been noticed. Xin Zhao going back to the top side, so he might meet Viego. Might. Viego deciding not to play on the bottom side of the map. LeBlanc does have control. If Rise gets rooted, he's as good as dead. But LeBlanc decided... Or wait, never mind. LeBlanc missed it. That's why. It wasn't a hold. I thought it was a hold for the knockup. To confirm. Good move speed used from Rise to get away from it. Marika's clone popped. As currently, top and bot lane, favor is going pretty strongly for Ninja Turts at this point. Got a plate on bot, and a notable CS lead, 500 gold extra for Ezreal. And LeBlanc just hit level 6. That is, I'm pretty sure that Rise is in kill threat right now. Unfortunately, LeBlanc missed the second E, or the E, not the second E. Rise teleport. If he stayed for one more wave, I think he would have had teleport back and ready for this moment. But I guess he could have it for an objective or something instead. As Viego's deciding to go for Windrake at this point. His bot laners applying pressure to prevent any sort of rotation or vision acquisition. As Mundo and Renekton are duking it out some up top. First Cloud Drake confirmed for Ninja Turts. As Xin Zhao ganking the Renekton top side, but got into position for Slice to be used. Ooh, Ezreal Essence fluxing forward making him take a tower hit. Kill to Xayah to claim the first beat. This one of Warfare, as that was their third kill. Recouping some of that disadvantage they had earlier from the CSing. As Xin Zhao and Viego will be fighting out in the jungle here at red buff on red side. LeBlanc leaning towards, Ryze ulted in, but Xin Zhao got up before then.
Never falter.
Ooh, Karma biting off more than she can chew, nearly dying to Xayah. Got out with 100 health as Rakan and Xayah will step away. Ezreal will get caught up in the root, 100 health, dies with Rakan at 120 health. Karma has enough mana for a tether or a shield, but it is getting very dicey for her to be sticking around at this point. As Mundo Renekton finding up top side, Xayah pocketing 1,300 gold to spend, besides on a BF sword. As Viego is posturing himself to go and take Void Grubs, and Zhao going to be crossing mid here. Ryze heading over to Grubs himself to make sure to help secure the objective. As once again, looks like Ninja Turts has an early advantage with the map objectives. But you can see a lot of map vision is being acquired for Jellyfish. Will allow them to play incredibly aggressively coming up and pressure Karma off of these rotations. Did not take a greedy push, but they are fishing. They know Ezreal is coming back. Places the ward. Was removed. Another ward comes out by Karma onto Grom, as they will be forced out, but it does cost them a bit. Or it does cost Ninja Turts just a bit in lane as the wave got pushed up. Looks like Jellyfish will be aiming for a cheeky push play. Ooh, nice! Early aggression by the Rakan as the kill was secured by Xayah, as Karma did not have flash at the ready yet. Recall not enough to root. As another knock-up attempt comes in, Ezreal ultimate comes out, knocks Rakan to half health, but Xin Zhao from the side, root successful this time, will finish off Viego. Ezreal afterwards, a double kill for Xayah, brings her to 4. Another 1,500 gold ready to be spent. But she wants more. 2 more hits for this tower to give a plate. And she will take her leave. Tempo hard swung in Jellyfish's direction thus far. Ooh, that is a rough trade for LeBlanc. Will have Flash Force out. Is Ryze the champ this mid laner's been waiting on all this time? Hagen's hovering around. Will block off the vision with his control ward. Doesn't want the Raptors to be spotted. Or Xin Zhao on them passing by. As we might see some action between the top laners here. Yeah, rough start for the Ryze at the beginning, but he is getting very comfortable soon. Has his catalyst ready. There comes Rakan from the side, but LeBlanc is hurting. Here comes Viego onto Mundo. Will get knocked considerably low, as Renekton has to flash out with just under 100 health. Ezreal ult traveling up top side. Will not land on anyone as Mundo denies Viego movement forward. He will be able to claim some minions of his own. No flash available for the top laner or jungler, so they will have to just leave him be. As Jellyfish will be going for their first dragon of the match, and it is an Infernal Drake at that. I feel like LeBlanc opting for Blackfire is kind of hurting them. But Karma sitting mid is very harming for her at that. Ooh, was not able to lock out Rise from escaping through his Realm Gate. Ultimate was not prepped for Rakan yet. But Xayah is considerably strong, has an item completed. Ezreal trying to farm up for his Trinity Force. Don't think he has it ready just yet, however. Alright. Rise doing well, maintaining his own here against these two. Blanc going down to match the Ezreal. As some gold and XP will be spread around. Rift Herald coming up in a minute and a half.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Vision being wanted around the Rift Herald pit. As the mid laners have went to bots. That is a lot of hurt onto LeBlanc there. The unfortunate timing of the W gets her caught up in the spread. Xayah stepping up a bit too far here maybe. Has Rakan on her back. Knock up landing on Karma to slow her progress down. Very beautiful root and charm! As Ezreal and Viego force the flash out, Ezreal dies to the ignite. Karma taken, Viego dies to the ignite. Xin tries to flash forward to take out Ezreal. Went a bit too aggressive, but manages to survive. Ezreal, Arcane Barrage coming up. Yep, there it comes. Won't land. As LeBlanc got pretty low. Blackfire Torch is ready. Yeah, I don't think the Blackfire Torch is the call on LeBlanc, considering she doesn't really spread kit very much to gain the benefits. At least she got a bit of burst right there, but it didn't proc these Seraphs yet. Or no, that's Rod of Ages, not Seraph. And Rise is going to be able to heal back quite well. Sandlad doing exceptionally well this game. Uriko struggling a bit right now. As Ninja Turts is getting some deep vision along the bot side of the map. Dragon coming up in a minute and a half. Rift Herald is up at this point. Got a bit less than 5 minutes for Adacon. As Mundo aiming for a possible kill on Renekton here. Rakan coming from behind as bot lane outer turret goes down. As Renekton slices away, he will be blocked off an exit. Finds the opportunity. As Xayah is once again getting targeted by 3 men mid. LeBlanc fighting off 2 of her own on bot side. Renekton heading back to top. It's been a bit difficult for Jellyfish to keep up with this pressure thus far. While Xayah has a pretty incredible lead. It's... Ooh, Flash fished out of Rise at the very least. That's gonna make it a tough dragon fight, I feel. But he has been incredibly strong thus far. Here come the movements. 15 seconds till dragon is up. Recalls came out. Mundo sitting on almost 2,000 gold, has teleport ready. He needs to spend that gold before dragon's up. But I guess Renekton did use his teleport already. That is 3 tops, so this Chemtech Drake will be surrendered. Well, possibly. It doesn't seem like they're going to be aiming for a 3-man top. Just getting some vision. Ooh, as Rise may just be caught out by Zion, Rakan jumping onto him, and he goes down without a hitch. Those Chemtech Blast Cones are incredibly fun to use. The best angles are on top. Alright, Zaya's rightfully got herself a big bounty. Mundo's getting really low. Oh no. Here comes the play for the top tower finally. Alright, Ezreal spotted. There are movements from LeBlanc and Rakan. Will he get out with his life? It looks like he will. There is that at the very least. Trade an outer for an inner maybe? There's Rise once again. There's the Rift Herald. We'll get a crash. Not much more than it, however. Interesting to see Rift Herald used on the side rather than mid. Rise feeling a bit paranoid, rightfully so. LeBlanc spotted. Alright, there come the all-in pings. Going for Rise, perhaps? Nope, Realm Warp. And he will be out safely. But there comes the knock-up on a Karma, I guess? Alright, Rakan ult will be down for the foreseeable future. As Atacon is spawning on the south end of the map, Viego's on the top side, however. But Ezreal's pushing mid, and they might get some mid lane damage out of it. Actually, we see all 3 of them moving top side. Aiming for Mundo. All missing. They don't see anyone mid. What are you going to be doing here, Mundo? Running straight backwards into the enemy was probably not the right call. Probably would have opted for a river. There. So outer turret down, aiming for an inner turret now. Rise is a bit out of position. There comes... Nope, no root. Close. Fortunately, only 2 feathers were set down, however. As LeBlanc is trying to do something on the side, is honestly kind of feeling like a base race at this point. Alright, Karma will be caught in the knockup, but Rakan ultimate is still not ready yet. Takes a lot of hurt, but that is an exposed inhibitor. Alright, Rakan ultimate is back up, so we could actually see a play coming in. Ooh, that is some disgusting damage from Karma, as she will pop Shirelia's and try to run away to no avail as 3 kills go to Xin Zhao. Actually, might this be the end? Ezreal's the only defense. It's 20 seconds and 10 seconds for the spawns. He's got to clear what he can. Alright, one Nexus tower down. Xin Zhao taking a lot of hurt. Karma is back up. Nexus is going down fast. And that will be a sudden end for Game 3 for Jellyfish. 13-2. I did not expect such a quick end right there, but they saw the opening and took it. Congrats. Like, yeah. Jellyfish struggled a bit on game 1. LeBlanc was struggling a bit there on game 3. Rise was putting in some heavy work. But boy, that opening provided there by that basically base trade and opening up that inhibitor and then having those trades there from the overextension just provided a glorious avenue for Jellyfish to that victory. I think that was like, what, only one Drake killed as well? Were all feats even gathered yet? Because I think the neutral objective was still missing for both sides. That's crazy. Yeah, Xayah damage was ridiculous, and there was still plenty of unspent gold to her name right there. Only 2 items with 10,000 gold in pocket. Some really nice engages from the Rakan and rotations. That triple from Xin Zhao was pretty nutty. And Mundo was just kind of a distraction at the end. I wouldn't be surprised if they were surprised the game was over at that point. Alright. But that will be it for this stream. Congratulations, Femboy Jellyfish. You are moving on. Apparently you have qualified for the 2nd seed of this group going into the playoffs, as noted by CLT early on in the stream. And you are welcome for hosting all of you. Yeah. Hope you all have a great remainder of your night. It is 11:10 though for Eastern, so some of you might be going to bed soon. Haha, just kidding. You're totally playing 3 hours longer. Right? But with that, hope you all have a... Wait, that's the wrong one. Hope you all have a great night.